JBNN will keep you informed. I'm Michelle Jones. Before we get into the news, please remember to like, subscribe, leave a comment, and share the news with someone today. Now onto the news. Soldier among 3 dead in Molin's Road attack linked to gang feud. The Area 4 police say Monday morning's triple killing on Molin's Road in St. Andrew is linked to gang rivalry. Fernando Wayne Dixon, a 26-year-old Jamaica Defense Force private, and 2 unidentified men died in the incident. The police say one radical 5.56 M16 rifle and a Taurus pistol, both fitted with magazines, were seized. Acting Assistant Commissioner Michael Phipps, commander of the Area 4 Police Headquarters, says the preliminary investigation has revealed that the incident is linked to an ongoing conflict between the Rome gang based in the St. Andrew Central Police Division and the William Lane gang operating in the Kingston Western Division. Acting ACP Phipps says Dixon and other men left a nightclub along Constant Spring Road in an Audi motor car when they were attacked by rival gang members on Molin's Road.
Further information suggests that rival gang members attended a popular nightclub located in the marketplace along Constant Spring Road. After leaving the club, members of the Rome gang were traveling in the motor car along Molin's Road when 2 men who we believe are aligned to the William Lane gang and traveling on a motorcycle opened gunfire on the said motor car being driven by the now deceased. The motor car collided with the motorcycle, which resulted in serious injuries to the rider and the pillion rider. 2 men from the motor car have been taken into custody in regards to investigations into criminal activities across the corporate area. We, at this time, are seeking 2 other persons of interest. One goes by the name of Mushi Gushi and Whistle. We believe that these persons can assist us in our investigations regarding this particular incident, and we are therefore asking them to report to the RFA3 CIB by 6 p.m. today.
Residents protest police fatal shooting in Mountain View. Residents of Mountain View Avenue in St. Andrew protested the fatal shooting of a man by the police on Monday morning. The deceased has been identified as 55-year-old Eric Shakespeare, said to be a groundsman. It's alleged that the police entered his house after knocking and receiving no response. It's further alleged that Shakespeare pointed a gun at the police and was shot. However, angry residents disputed the report and blocked sections of Mountain View Avenue and set debris on fire. The situation had resulted in the early closure of the Mountain View Primary and Infant School. The Independent Commission of Investigations (INDICOM) has launched a probe into the incident. 2 shot, 1 fatal in Discovery Bay. A man was killed, while another was wounded during a gun attack in Discovery Bay, sent on Sunday evening. The deceased has been identified as 33-year-old Nico Stevens, a fisherman of Corner Street, Discovery Bay. A 3rd person escaped injury. According to reports, at about 8:45 p.m., Stevens and 2 men were walking in the vicinity of the Discovery Bay High School when a man came up behind them and opened fire. Stevens and another man were shot. The gunman then shot Stevens several more times before fleeing the scene. The wounded men were assisted to hospital, where Stevens was pronounced dead and the other man admitted. 16-year-old boy charged for a knife attack on fellow student. The Centon police have laid charges against a 16-year-old boy for a knife attack on a fellow 5th form student at the Brownstone High School last week. The juvenile has been charged with wounding with intent and booked to appear before the Children's Court this week. It was taken into custody last Thursday following the stabbing at the school. It was reported that sometime after 10, upper school students were on a break when a group of boys got into an argument. A knife was used to stab one of the boys in his face and abdomen. It was taken to hospital where he was admitted in stable condition. Senior Superintendent Dwight Powell, commanding officer for St. Anne, said members of the safety and the security branch visited the school last week and will remain at the institution this week to assure the staff and students that the police are available for assistance. Police will defend themselves against criminals, says JCF Assistant Chaplain. With the security forces on high alert due to an extreme threat level, Assistant Chaplain at the Jamaica Constabulary Force, Dr. Kevin White, says the police will not be sympathetic towards criminals who continue to take the lives of its members. This follows a fatal police shooting of a reputed top leader of the One Order gang of Neil Tipman Lobon. While delivering the sermon at the Area 3 Police Worship Service held Sunday at the Jamaica Evangelistic Center in Mandeville, Dr. White bemoaned the actions of the residents of Taws Meadows in Spanish Town, who praised the supposed gang leader and threatened to attack cops for killing Laban. He said Jamaica has lost its moral compass. Dr. White noted that he'll not be praying for any criminal who tries to attack him, but will instead be defending himself.
I dare you to come. I dare. This pastor won't be praying before. I'm going to pray after. So you dare to come. Are you sizing me up? Let every gunman know this pastor, he's going to pray over your body. I'm going to send you 5 feet next Sunday. We've got to stand up and be confident because the devil ain't playing with us. Let's stop playing around with it.
Motorcyclist becomes second road fatality in Trelawny for 2025. A motorcyclist died as a result of injuries he sustained during a motor vehicle crash on a section of the North Coast Highway that runs in the vicinity of the Hague community in Trelawny on Saturday night. The deceased has been identified as 48-year-old labourer Joel McLeod, who was off a Newton Street, Falmouth address in the parish. Reports that McLeod was driving a motorcycle on the highway when he collided with a Nissan motor car travelling in the opposite direction. McLeod was thrown from the bike and sustained fatal injuries. He became the second road fatality in the parish since the start of the year. Saturday night's accident comes on the heels of the January 20 crash involving a truck and a motor car on the Cooper's Bend Main Road, which claimed the life of Kemar Brown, a 32-year-old contractor of Highgate, St. Mary. Body of missing woman found in bushes. A St. Thomas woman was reported missing was found in bushes in the parish on Monday morning. The deceased has been identified as 28-year-old Rushdie Bonfield, otherwise called Deidre of Golden Valley, in Whitehall. Commanding officer for the St. Thomas Division, Superintendent Michael Campbell, provided an update on the investigation.
She left her home to visit a friend after a telephone conversation she did not reach, and as such, person became concerned and made a report to the police that she is missing. Initial investigations were carried out. Nothing useful was gathered. However, this morning, residents stumbled upon her body in bushes and alerted the police. Police responded and confirmed that the body was in fact found. And as I said, she was positively identified as the person who the report was made as gone missing yesterday.
Superintendent Campbell is urging anyone with information in regards to Bonfield's death to come forward.
I also want to use this opportunity to appeal to the residents of Whitehall and other areas of St. Thomas to share with the police what they know. We can't afford for culprits to be snuffing out the lives of our decent, law-abiding citizens like this and get away with it. So there must be somebody who knows something. We're appealing to the persons to share it with the police that we can find this culprit and bring him to justice. Or whoever they may be, maybe more than one, we're not sure. But I am almost certain that with the help of the citizens, we can find whoever is responsible for this.
1 dead, 3 injured in Orange Bay crash. A crash in Orange Bay, Hanover has left 1 person dead and 3 others injured. The crash occurred on the Salt Creek Main Road shortly before 4 a.m. Reports said that a Nissan 80 wagon motor car and a Honda Grace motor car were traveling in opposite directions when they collided head-on. It is understood that one of the drivers may have fallen asleep at the wheel. A female passenger who was in the Nissan was pronounced at a hospital. The Green Island Police is investigating. Ribis cooperating with police following killing of former employee. The management of Ribis Ultra Lounge in St. Andrew says it's fully cooperating with investigations into the shooting death of one of his former employees, Jermaine Richards. Richards was reportedly shot by an off-duty policeman in the laundry's parking lot sometime after 4 last Thursday morning. His relatives and friends have protested the killing. They're demanding more from the company. But attorney for Ribis, Dimitri Adams, says the management has been cooperating with the probe.
We have, since the incident, met with, cooperated. We have literally provided everything requested by the necessary bodies, and there has been nothing held back from these investigatory bodies when asked to provide. So the directors have been extremely cooperative with the Jamaica Constabulary Force and the Independent Commission of Investigations.
The company is extending sympathies to the family of Mr. Richards. Since the fatal shooting, several rumors have been circulating on social media Adams is warning those circulating unverified information that they run the risk of defaming the owners of Ribbies and damaging the brand.
We are truly sympathetic to the family and the loved ones of Mr. Richards at this time. But on the other hand, there is an interest in protecting the name of Ribbies as a commercial brand and its directors as individuals. Because in time it will be revealed that this matter has nothing to do with Ribbies Ultra Lounge as a business.
Westmoreland Police praised Zozo for crime reduction. Commanding Officer for Westmoreland, Superintendent Othniel Dobson, says the continued use of a zone of special operations in the division has significantly contributed to a reduction in murders. Superintendent Dobson was speaking with Prime Minister Andrew Holness during a recent tour of the parish.
Superintendent,
Yes,
how are you?
I'm okay, sir.
How are things in the
Westmoreland,
division?
sir. Westmoreland
Good.
is
Good.
good, sir.
Excellent.
Yes,
SP,
yes, sir.
Senior Superintendent.
Superintendent Dobson, sir.
Tell me, how are things in the
Superintendent Dobson in charge of Westmoreland, sir. The Westmoreland division is doing very well, sir. We have had a 19% reduction in overall crimes last year. I know you have been briefed on the statistics.
Yes.
But overall, we are seeing much better figures. We are seeing a more motivated police force that is in receipt of resources. We have had at least 120 odd persons trained at level 2 at specialized operation, which has given us that extra kick as it relates to our fight on crime. Additionally, we have gotten vehicles that will continue to assist us in policing the area. Our interaction with the citizenry has it been improving. Our interaction with other stakeholders continues to do well for us. And overall, I think we are enjoying good time with the citizens of Westmoreland. We look forward for much better results in 2025. Last year was what I would call the practice. This year is a sprint, sir.
Sprint.
We expect to have much better results with a motivated team, which is trained and resourced.
Excellent. Now, one of the things that we did in terms of the strategy for Westmoreland was to declare a zone of special operations here in SAV.
Yes, sir.
How is that going? How is that zone of operations?
That strategy is working well, sir. 3 years ago, the Savamar police area recorded 38 murders. Then it came down to 28. Last year, 13, with only 3 occurring within the zone of special operation, only 2 by gun. One was a stabbing incident. We love the tool. It's working well. Without the tool, it would have been a more dangerous place for us. We continue to work along with our military counterparts, and we expect an even much better year this year within the Savamar zones of special operations.
So the zones of special operations have worked incredibly well. Wherever we have instituted the tool, we have seen dramatic reductions in murders and other crimes. Because, in effect, it's the creation of a safe space. The question that we're always posed with is, it's a very resource-intense operation. It's intense in manpower, intense in everything else. And it can, in some way, have an impact on other policing efforts. But in practice, though it has been a resource-intense operation, it hasn't really negatively impacted other operations. In fact, what has happened is that it has helped to reduce crimes generally. Overall.
Definitely.
Because it expels the gangs, breaks up the space, and they can't find other spaces to go and entrench themselves. So there might be other communities in Westmoreland and generally in Jamaica that we are looking at now to have established other zones of special operations.
For us, it has worked. It has worked tremendously in that space. It might take additional labor, but it also displaces some of these gang members. And when they are displaced into other areas, it becomes easier for us to go at them.
Yeah.
So that works for us.
The traditional thought with displacement is that you're squeezing one area and they just go to the other.
No.
But it doesn't work because you are being very agile in your pursuit of them, so they don't have an opportunity to entrench themselves in other areas. So the strategy has worked.
Works, sir, definitely.
So keep up the good work, too.
Thank you, sir.
Very good.
JBN will keep you informed. Please remember to subscribe, like, share, leave us a comment, and click the notification bell to receive our daily news items.